les amis de la presse, écrite et parlée. Donc, moi-même, Rajana Ravi Dalia. Et à côté de moi, Ravi Eswarapu, à ma droite, donc le directeur de représentant de Andhra University. Okay? Et à ma gauche, Srinivas Savaram, qui est le CEO de Thai Vaisak. Tu as l'air pour expliquer un petit peu dans la chose. Et puis maintenant, M. Dave Dalia, et ici, nous Acharya avec nous. Donc, merci de nous répondre présent à l'appel qui nous paye, l'invitation qui nous lancée. Donc, moi, je suis extrêmement content qu'ils nous ensemble aujourd'hui parce qu'il y a une affaire très important. Très important, je considère très important pour les entrepreneurs, pour nos pays. Okay? Donc, pour la République de Maurice, nous avons un programme qui nous peut lancer à Maurice au niveau un entrepreneurial workshop qui peut baser étaler le 9 mois, mais nous pourrons dans le détail là. Donc, nous pouvons lancer ça à partir de la semaine prochaine. Et nous avons visité. Donc, aujourd'hui, nous avons des avec nous, des facilitateurs qui sont avec nous. Lundi, il y a encore des autres facilitateurs qui vont venir. Donc, nous avons 4 facilitateurs qui viennent spécialement depuis Vishakapatnam pour lancer un programme de entrepreneurial workshop basé sur 9 mois, mais là, nous pourrons dans le détail là. Donc, pour arrêter là même, il y a beaucoup qui se proposent là. Donc, je ne vais pas arrêter là pour le moment. Je vous passe la parole M. Ravi Eswarapu qui peut expliquer un petit peu plus dans le détail le programme là. Et puis là, nous avons l'occasion de récolter un petit peu encore pour répondre à la parole dans un petit moment. Donc, over to you, Mr. Ravi, with regard to the introduction to what we're doing and the background with regard to Thai Vaisak and a hub. Whatever you want to share with the press.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning. Thank you for being here. My name is Ravi Ishwarapu. Thanks to Mr. Ravi and Mr. Dev for having us here. Okay. Regarding what I would first talk to you about, I am currently the CEO for an incubation ecosystem under Andhra University in India called AHUB, and I am also the president of Thai Vaisak. I have Srinivas with me, who is the executive director of Thai Vaisak. So what are we? If you talk about Thai as an institution, it's a global not-for-profit largest entrepreneurial ecosystem. We are in 14 countries, and our job is basically to foster entrepreneurship. We're basically a set of successful entrepreneurs helping new generation entrepreneurs be successful, right from education, mentoring, nurturing, providing incubation support as well as funding support. This is what we do as a Thai. Thai started in 1992 in the US. That's why the word Thai, the Indus Entrepreneur is the name of the entity, which has now become Thai. Indus is IND for India, U for US, so that's how the Indus word came up. But later Thai grew into a global organization. We are all over the world, right from Japan to Hong Kong to Singapore to, on the east side you start from Dubai to, in fact Thai did have a Mauritius chapter which did not, later did not function, but now we are trying to kindle that entrepreneurship spirit within Mauritius, and then we would reinitiate the formation of the local Thai chapter. So that's about Thai. AHUB is an incubation ecosystem under Andhra University, which is a 98-year-old university in India, one of the top-rated universities, oldest and one of the top-rated. We as an incubator, we started about 2 years back, but we are already one of the top-rated and fastest-growing incubation ecosystem in India, university incubation ecosystem. By probably 2025, and that's by December next year, we should be one of India's largest integrated multidisciplinary incubation ecosystems. When I say integrated multidisciplinary, we are just not only technology focused, we are into pharma, biotech, genomics, food, marine, environment, energy, rural, tribal, name it, we are there. We are woman-led entrepreneurship. So we are there all over the place. So we currently have about 171 startups. This is in 20 months, out of which about 163 of them are already revenue generating. The rest are largely having patents and are working towards market ready product, which is like in the field like semiconductors, if they have to develop something. So we are right from deep tech to semiconductors to artificial intelligence to IoT to anything as simple as food, retailing, franchisee, marine, seafood exports and other stuff. So it's a complete realm of sectors that we are talking of. Vizag is famous for about, you can say, the top 6 sectors where there could be a lot of collaboration and cross work that can happen with Mauritius. We're talking about, it's a big defense base, Eastern India, the total defense, the Navy is in India, is in Vizag. So that's one. It starts with defense, then it's a heavy engineering and manufacturing base with one of the India's largest steel plant, and then you have petrochemicals, you have pharma, you have marine and seafood exports, which 80% of the shrimp that is exported out of India happens through Vishakapatnam because it's cultured near Vizag, within about 200 kilometers of Vizag. Then we also have logistics and ports. These are the 6 areas that we are concentrating on while we not neglecting the other stuff. We're also setting up something in food. We are processing jackfruit, pineapple, which now I came today morning, found that there's a lot of pineapple. That surprised that the nectar comes from Egypt. So is there possibility? So the idea is to bring about the experience that we have in entrepreneurship. I've actually, if I go into my history, I worked with large companies. My last corporate role, I was working with in the office of Mr. Anand Mahindra, who heads this Mahindra group of companies, and I was in the board, and then I was the chief of quality of Tech Mahindra before I moved out, built 2 companies, had successful exits, building another 6 companies. So all that experience is what we bring to the table. And if you're talking about me, TIE and AHUB has this whole list of mentors who are successful entrepreneurs for the last 20-25 years, and that is the expertise, largely trying to help, especially the cross collaboration can help in multiple ways. Finding interesting or passionate entrepreneurs in Mauritius who would want to grow beyond the boundaries of Mauritius into the global markets, because TIE brings in the global network, AHUB brings in the mentors and the mentoring and entry into India entry strategy. So if you want to expand, if somebody from here wants to expand into India, or there are already certain products that are probably fit for the market in Mauritius and into the African markets, which is African markets for a lot of products is still a blue ocean strategy, which means unexplored markets. As we enter into Mauritius day before, and we saw there are so many possibilities, that a lot of technologies that are there that are available in India coming into Mauritius. So this is what we are looking at. About the program, this is a 9-month program where TIE Vizag and AHUB, which is part of a Section 8 company under Andhra University. So both these organizations are not for profit. Okay. Both these organizations are not for profit, voluntary organizations, as I told you. So we are trying to promote entrepreneurship. So this is a 9-month cohort, which is the first one, where 5 days starting Monday, we would be doing in person. 4 people from Vishakapatnam, we're traveling down here. We are going to work with about select 15 entrepreneurs who are going to be part of this program, take them forward in understanding things physically for the next 5 days, post which we will be virtually working with these 15 entrepreneurs from India, from Vishakapatnam, to the 9 months to ensure that whatever their ideas or their existing businesses grow and scale up over the next 9 months. that's what the program is about. So with that, I give it back to Mr. Ravi. To
Yes, merci. Donc, mon position summarize dans des mots, dans des trois lignes, ce qui M. Eswarapoun fait expliquer. Donc, ce qui nous peut dire, c'est un programme étalé sur 9 mois qui inclut un mentoring, il inclut aussi market access et il inclut aussi funding à travers money. L'argent qui va investir car il mettait. Donc, il est allé le 9 mois et il commençait par 5 jours de face-to-face workshop qui commençait à partir de lundi jusqu'à vendredi. Mais après, pendant les restes mois, c'est mentoring à travers un Zoom meeting online qui nous continue un programme de support qui nous peut lancer à partir de la semaine prochaine. Donc, moi, on a aussi, comme on dit tout à l'heure, le CEO de Thai Vaisak, Srinivas Savaram. Donc, moi, vous passer la parole pour ici pour ajouter des affaires, monsieur, ce qu'il nous peut faire comme initiative. Moi, nous dire, c'est une initiative qui est unique à Maurice et tellement un network qu'on peut causer un network de 13 000 à monter entrepreneurs dans le monde à travers ce Thai international, l'organisation Thai international. Et tout ce qu'il nous peut faire, c'est not for profit. Toute l'organisation qui est là, même ici, sa structure qui nous crée ici-là, il n'est pas pour profit, il est tout pour le travail social qu'il nous peut faire pour supporter les entrepreneurs. Donc, je passe la parole maintenant à Srinivas Savaram, le CEO de Thai Vaisak. Over to you.
Thank you. Bonjour, good morning. It's wonderful to be here in your beautiful country. We had a great idea about Mauritius before we came, but now that we've seen a little bit of it, it's really, really beautiful. We are so happy to be here. I just want to talk quickly about Thai, a few more things. As a part of Thai Vaisak, I happen to be the executive director in Thai Vaisak, and we have been running a lot of different programs related to hackathons, workshops, ideathons, and investor meets. And we've been doing lots of activities where member meets happen. Now, one of the things as a part of the workshops are things that we have done for Thai young entrepreneurs. We have a program for Thai women where women entrepreneurs are encouraged. Then there is one called Thai Young Entrepreneurs, which is for high school students, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th standard students. And then we have a Thai U program that is for Thai university students. So students can participate, learn about entrepreneurship, and also there is a global contest that happens both for all three, Thai women, Thai U and Thai young entrepreneurs. And our chapter has started now being a part of those competitions, and we want to see what else we can do over here with people in Mauritius, and that's very quickly what we in Thai Vaisak have been doing. And as a part of our team, Ravi, I and two other people who are coming on Monday, we'll be doing this 5-day workshop. And we hope that once that workshop finishes, the in-person part completes, we will be doing the online sessions once we go back to India and handle things with you, with the participants. Thank you. Merci.
Un aspect peut-être pour aussi saisir l'occasion pour passer là et nous cause beaucoup en termes de lien qui est là entre l'Inde et Maurice. Et ce lien-là, ancestral, historique, hein, et ce lien-là, aussi, même actuellement, il y a beaucoup d'échanges qui passaient entre l'Inde comme un pays et Maurice comme un pays. Donc, dans ce qui nous peut faire là aussi, il y a dans la logique là même qui nous peut faire, c'est-à-dire affirmer une relation qui est déjà existante de longue date entre les deux peuples, mais aussi maintenant à travers des affaires spécifiques très pointues et aussi très appropriées pour aujourd'hui avec la population de l'Inde et la population de l'île Maurice. Et c'est pourquoi ce programme-là, nous gardons pour toute la population de Maurice et dans la logique là même qui nous a encore les autres projets. Hein, et nous connaissons que le pays, ce que le pays sait faire, c'est développer le Education Hub. Maurice comme étant beaucoup campus sur lequel nous avons bonne possibilité pour tertiary education, etc. Donc là aussi, c'est une possibilité qui doit vous considérer dans le moment futur. Et dans ce côté-là, you have something to announce with regard to a special une nouvelle vraiment spéciale qui me peut l'estimer parce qu'il représente Andhra University c'était là, mais mon père c'est dans la logique là aussi qui nous peut dire c'est une relation de peuple à peuple et qu'on a envie qui est un raffermissement déjà au lien culturel ancestral qui existait, mais aussi maintenant du point de vue économique. Nous tous connaissons qu'il y a un free trade agreement entre la République de Maurice et la République de l'Inde. Donc tout ça là c'est dans la logique là qui nous peut dire, mais il n'est pas passé au niveau ban produit, il y a aussi au niveau ban service, au niveau ban incubateur, entrepreneur en général dans la grande ligne. Donc, moi, pour retourner la parole, M. Ravi, pour lui annoncer la nouvelle qui nous dit là.
Okay. I think you would know, and President of India is, Honorable Madam is here for the Independence Day celebrations. There's a lot of very close relationship and ties, international diplomatic ties between India and Mauritius. So, and this is in line with the vision of the current government, and Prime Minister Modi ji is trying to have a very close ties with Mauritius. And we in Vizag, we have about 1,000 plus international students. Most of them come from this African region. We already have Mauritian students studying with us in Andhra University, largely engineering, pharmacy, management studies, sciences, arts, and other stuff. There are also law students coming and studying in Andhra University, and they are from Mauritius. So there is an institution, ICCR, which sponsors, and there are sponsorships for people from Mauritius who wants to study in India and in Andhra University. So there are 65 scholarships this year. In fact, there's an education fair now happening at Hennessy Hotel. And we're talking about, when you're talking about a scholarship, so all your education is free for the whole length of study that you're there in India. Your travel one time to India and back to Mauritius is taken care as part of the scholarship, and plus a monthly, I would say, if you're talking Mauritius equivalent, about 10,000 rupees is given to them as stipend for them to manage their day-to-day living expenses in India, along with hostel facility, food, and other stuff. So this is something that you could probably also take it to the young, the parents and the young crowd in the Mauritius, so that they can take advantage of the 65 scholarships that they can take advantage of. They can choose 5 institutions, and depending upon the availability, I know there's a lot of demand for Andhra University, but they allocate, ICCR will allocate people to their specific university. If usually they keep their first preference as Andhra University, they would probably be getting that. So that's something that, in addition to what we do as entrepreneurship, as I said, we are here volunteering our time and effort as part of this relationship between these two countries, and we are very much willing. And it's basically all this started off when Mr. Ravi and they visited India to Andhra University, because there's also the cultural roots that belong to the place from which forefathers have migrated. So wanting to connect back to your basic roots of where your family and all that stuff. So that's something that is also emotional attachment was also there to this program, because it's people from the place, forefathers trying to come back. In fact, they've also, Dave has written a book on his connection back to India and to Vishakapatnam. So all this made us take this decision to partner with Mauritius and Le Hochet, Vishakapatnam, and take this program forward. Thank you, and it's wonderful, and hopefully it will be successful. But this is just a beginning. We would try and create something like a center of entrepreneurship, which would take once we have a successful cohort 1, which is now that is being launched, we would do multiple cohorts and take this program forward. Thank you.
Donc, comme tu peux dire, le programme est ouvert à toute la population de la République de Maurice. Nous pouvons faire ça à Human Service Trust à Calbas à partir de lundi, de face-to-face qui peut commencer. Donc, pour ça 5 jours là, après là, nous pouvons des autres suivis en termes de mentoring. Il y a aussi qui m'a attiré l'attention, qui nous page Facebook aussi, nous fait créer, le LinkedIn aussi nous présent. Donc tout ça là, c'est pour, encore une fois, et dans sa ouverture de ce programme-là vers toute la population de la République de Maurice. Là, moi, tu me passes Dave, au fait, tout commencé à partir de lui-même, comme M. Eswarapo fait dire, il écrit un livre, donc mon policier raconte un petit peu quand ça a commencé et pour quelles raisons aujourd'hui nous là, nous pouvons lancer ce programme d'entrepreneur là. Donc, mon passe Dave Dalia.
Merci. I prefer speaking English, Ravi and Srinivas. Everybody will understand what I'm saying. Thank you very much for being here with us. Actually, we have been a long way. I'm going to speak on behalf, as the chairman of Vishakapatnam Le Hochet Trust, which was created back in 1993. And we have a temple and we have an official priest from India who is doing this. After that, we have decided to write a book. I talked to a friend from Calcutta. We decided to go for the first time to Vizag. And we landed at the university, met with Professor Murthy, who has been very helpful for us to be able to complete the book. During a launch last year, we went to Vizag again, and we did the launch at the university again. And first one was in Mauritius in 2021. And being presented with the incubator center of Andhra University, we decided that we should bring it to Mauritius as a gift from the land of our four-grandfathers. So we are here, we have created a non-profit making company guaranteed by shares. And so we look forward to continue on this process with your help, and we will assist you to develop this entrepreneur center for Mauritius. Thank you.
Donc, merci à tous les intervenants. Comme on dit, il y a beaucoup d'informations que nous donnons là. Donc, mais l'idée, c'est qu'il vous prend un petit peu le temps pour nous capables peut-être comprendre toutes les affaires. Donc là, je paraît la même. Moi, pour dire ça encore une fois, plus important, c'est qu'il y a un support à un entrepreneur. Tel est là, Srinivas, il explique aussi. Il paraît dire c'est un entrepreneur existant. Il y a aussi un jeune qui encore dans l'école. Il y a aussi une madame qui est déjà un entrepreneur ou bien un aspirant entrepreneur. Donc, ça un programme qui nous peut calculer pour faire là, il est très élargi. Il touche au fait toutes les couches en termes d'âge de la population. Mais seulement, nous pouvons commencer par un premier workshop là sur lequel lundi nous pouvons commencer et nous avons le doute que c'est une chose qui peut être très très bénéfique à l'ensemble de la population à Maurice. Donc là, je paraît la même, je peux demander beaucoup plus si vous avez des questions, qui éclaircissements de envie et là, tout bon l'aspect qui nous causé et nous aussi avec nous à ban du monde qui nous là, nous pouvons répondre tout bonnes questions qui sont là. Donc, over to you.
Is this workshop adapted to the Mauritian context or to India's context?
No, it would be a global context because we were already talking to certain entrepreneurs who would be working with entrepreneurs in Mauritius and try and bring that to, it's just not to bring it to Mauritius, but be a conduit. Like I can give you one example. Srinivas and I are invested into a startup called Interview Buddy, which helps people prepare for an interview before you go for a real one. We did it in English and we are there in a few countries, but we are now trying, we are working with an entrepreneur in Mauritius who will take it up, convert it into French, take it to Mauritius, Madagascar, South Africa, and then maybe Canada. So that's basically, it's not just either for India or Mauritius that we are talking about. We are talking for global launches of products depending upon the interests.
Can I just add something?
Yeah.
Just to l'idée c'est qu'il y a une start-up avec un monde qui a une idée depuis commencer depuis zéro. Ça ici nous avons cater for from zero, that is from an ideation.
Right.
Ok, depuis une idée. Parce que beaucoup de gens ont tendance pour penser que l'idée, ils disent que c'est une Au fait, just to share that point, n'importe quelle idée, et c'est important peut-être c'est un message parce qu'ils m'ont mis dans l'attention posté sur Facebook, il est important qu'ils nous connaissent dans un petit pays, dans une petite population, mais n'importe quelle idée nous avons. et a 10 du monde, prouvé scientifiquement, 10 du monde dans le monde peut déjà exécuter. On peut penser, peut exécuter. Mais l'idée, c'est qu'il nous peut dire, c'est qu'il y a quelque chose qui doit ici depuis sa première qui n'a pas existé. L'idée qui a été là peut venir. Nous prenons autres, nous pouvons supposer autres, nous pouvons coacher autres, nous pouvons mentor autres. Mais aussi, ce qui est important, c'est qu'il y a un entrepreneur qui est existant. Nous pouvons aussi guetter comment nous consolider notre fondation, ou bien ça qu'ils ont là comme entreprise, et là permettre de grandir. Grandir, ce qui nous peut dire au niveau régional, au niveau global. Ce qui nous est comme whatever we have as skills, expertise, is appropriate not only for the local business, but also for the regional and global business. Donc, comment nous dire, même dans un petit pays, nous pouvons think big. This is an opportunity also for people across the entrepreneurship public space that we have, the entrepreneurship space that we have, for them to think regional and to think global.
Yeah.
So if you want to expand a bit of...
Yeah, but India being a very large market, especially the middle income groups and the high income groups, and if you're talking from population, here we're talking about 1.3 million. Just Vishakapatnam, it's about is 2.5 million. And India is 1.4 billion. Huge market opportunities for Mauritian entrepreneurs to enter into India. There are already people doing it, but not on a large scale. So it's also an opportunity for Mauritian entrepreneurs or startups to tap into a large, fastest growing economy in the world. So that we will help, we'll be the conduit. So they can approach us, we'll help them. See, the biggest challenge for going international and launching something international is you need to find the right partners, you need to know the local legal compliances, government statutory norms, all that we handhold them and ensure that we find if a willing partners on their side with whom they can partner and launch it. But this is not just Mauritius, India. TIE brings you that global network, whether it's US, whether it's Japan, Singapore, Dubai, you're talking multiple, whether Germany, England, the UK, we are everywhere. So depending upon the type of the product and where you would want to go, we connect you to those respective networks so that you can explore and take it forward.
You said in your first intervention, successful entrepreneur. From the academic point of view, what is a successful entrepreneur?
Okay.
It's not academic.
No. While I'm with an academic institution, the reason I'm there with an academic because I studied there. I've been in the corporate now, and I've built and sold startups. But I'm now coming back to my academic institution as part of, because I said we are now in the volunteering stage. This is giving back to the community and society. So if you're asking me a successful entrepreneurship, see, there are, one is measurable factors. Are you, one is when you're starting success, are you growing, depending upon the stage of this thing. So have you created a product where there is a problem space, where there's an opportunity and you did the right product and you launched it in the right markets, which all shows in terms of how much you're selling and how much you're finally making money. So success is, of course, on the growth, leading to creation. Two things that I would say if you're really successful from a Mauritius entrepreneur's perspective. One is, while you make wealth for yourself, you're contributing to the local GDP and creating employment. If you're doing all the three, I think you've done your job.
Good.
Yes.
Anything?
I-
Please. Very good question.
So that's a wonderful question. If you go the spiritual way, success means a lot of different things to a lot of people. So one aspect is, of course, what Ravi had mentioned. Other aspects in terms of measuring success is when you start a company, build it, and then sell it, and you're able to do that a couple of times, then that's one way to measure success. So it's actually multiple things. I think you knew the answer already, but since you wanted us to answer.
Last question. You're going to select 15 entrepreneurs, startups, and you invited 1.3 million to join you. Not a small amount, 15 or 1.3 million.
The intention is this is the first batch, but the intention is not to stop with the first batch. The intention is to keep on doing a second batch, a third batch, upon the, let's put it this way, upon also identifying those areas that are going to be most beneficial to the local entrepreneurship community. Okay, so the idea is we will be able, I mean, again, because it is voluntary, bénévole de ces personnes-là, donc it will depend also on their availability and timing, because it is you're contributing to that. But the essence is that this is only the start of the program with one batch, but we're going to eventually talk about, because we're not even talking, and you're good to point out that it is 1.3 million, because that includes the women, the youngsters, even those people. We know we have identified it as something that we need to work upon, where we need to have to brief or to engage the youngsters from their school days into entrepreneurship. So this is actually what Srinivas has shared earlier, what they have been doing already in Vishakapatnam. They will be sharing that also. So it is not about only existing entrepreneurs. It is also about potentially who can be entrepreneurs. So it is not stopping with one batch. Actually, we will continue on other aspects, but even this one, we will do second, third batch.
The reason we're starting with 15 is we have to first be, again, as you asked, successful enough in delivering what we promised, have a case study, and then it is easier for us to execute it on a larger scale. So we don't want to start with a big number and then be thinly spread across multiple people. Select 15 people, ensure that most of these people are successful, and then take those learnings, because we also have to learn the local market, the culture, how people think, what they expect, because it's just not about business, it's also about people.
Individual attention.
Yes, and then when you're talking about trying to talk to each one of them on a month-to-month basis to 9 months until they become successful, you need to give individual attention to each one of them. So we are ensuring that these people are taken care of well, and then they move through their entrepreneurial journey and come out successful. So once, as Mr. Ravi was talking, once we create a batch of success and then we start seeing this success, in fact, we are also getting these people to come into India and be there and walk through and then do all these networking and then connecting to the local entrepreneur, understanding the local markets also as part of this program. People interested can come in and do that. We're planning to do it in June and July. So once we have a better understanding of what we are doing and this thing, then we expand it. This thing is just not in young entrepreneurs is what we're talking of a program. We start from schools, the 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders, and start putting that into them, into the habit of getting into entrepreneurship and not only search for jobs. And it's more like trying to get their mindset change from becoming employees to be creating employment, which is again employment generation becomes a big thing, an important thing as the population and the size grows. So we're trying to start small, learn things ourselves as to how these markets and how people out here operate, and they have behavioral skill sets. And then, because we were talking in the car, most of the forefathers, it is there in your DNA to take a risk, to move from some country to come here and then start your family afresh. So people are not here to take, afraid to take any risks of moving out of their comfort zone, which is very much required. So we want to study all that. So that's known, we started realizing that when we started hearing and we started looking at the different sets of people who are here. So as we start learning, we will expand and take it beyond into multiple communities. Maybe tomorrow we are talking about women-led entrepreneurship. We are talking about entrepreneurship for specific sectors like energy. We already identified IoT, Internet of Things, as a big opportunity in this area. So it could be specific sector-based, it could be specific demographics like women, it could for the young kids. So we might come up with all that time that are appropriate for this local market, and then we take it forward. So the idea is to make it big.
Last question, yesterday it was Women's Day. So in that 15, Do you have gender balancing?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. In fact, I was going to comment on that. This is also a good opportunity to mention it. We have been celebrating International Women's Day yesterday, but it's also a continuation. Support to women is not only on that day; it is a continuation of what we're doing. So, in our, I don't have the figures in mind, but we definitely have a gender balance in what we're doing. Gender balance, and everything is balanced, just like what we're trying to do to bring the change in society, which is also required in terms of the balance. Yes, thank you. C'est bon? Donc merci, madame, vous n'avez pas de questions? Mais c'est bon, merci encore une fois pour votre présence et votre réponse et bonne question aussi, merci. Très très intéressant, il fait nous réfléchir aussi, de bonnes affaires. Donc merci à tout et là nous passons à signature de MOU entre, ça veut dire, on peut dire,
This